So, kids getting a driver's license, huh? Yeah, clear the roads! Seriously though, it's scary stuff. You're a new driver hurtling down the highway, to say nothing of all the new costs you may be facing. Ooh boy. But really, look at the statistics. Drivers between the ages of 15 and 19 are much more likely to experience a collision. You don't want that. I don't want that. Heck, the government doesn't want that. And that's why states nationwide have adopted graduated driver licensing regulations. I know, it sounds complicated, but don't worry, I'm here to help. Welcome to Graduated Driver Licensing Made Simple. Now, each state has its own set of specific rules and regulations, but today we're taking a look at Indiana. Meet Daniel and his mom, Kay. They're about to start on the great adventure of the GDL. Daniel turned 15 yesterday. In Indiana, this means he's just old enough to apply for his learner's permit. To do this, he must first be enrolled in driver's education and pass the written test at the BMV. Of course, if Daniel opted to not take the driver's education, he'd have to wait until his 16th birthday to apply for his permit. Fortunately, he is enrolled in driver's education, and he and his mom have even spent time together studying this year's Indiana Driver's Manual. All they have to do now is head down to the local BMV, where they'll provide documents of identification and proof of enrollment in driver's training. Here, Daniel will take a vision screening test and a knowledge exam, and his mom will sign an agreement of financial liability. 50 harrowing questions later, Daniel is a proud learner's permit recipient. So what now? Now the fun part. Daniel needs to clock 50 hours of supervised driving time, 10 of which have to be at night, with his mom, a driving instructor, or another licensed adult over the age of 25. Kay will need to sign off on an official BMV log of these hours, stating that Daniel has indeed been practicing his lane changes and three-point turns. The supervised driving period is really important because it gives experienced drivers a chance to make sure that their protege is learning excellent safety practices behind the wheel. Now that he's got his permit, Daniel needs to spend 180 days working on his driving abilities under his mom's watchful eye before moving on to the next phase. Meet Amanda and her uncle Jason. Amanda is 16 and 180 days old, has completed her driver's training, and just spent the last 180 days learning Jason's best tips and tricks for how to pull off the perfect parallel parking job, among other vital rules of the road. Had she not completed driver's ed, she would have had to wait until she turned 16 and 270 days old. Nevertheless, Amanda is now ready to embark on that vital rite of passage, the road test. She and Jason head to the BMV, where Amanda will show off her shiny new driving skills. With a passing score here, she'll receive her probationary driver's license. Now, she can finally strike out on her own in that brand new Porsche. Yeah, or whatever. She may be allowed to drive solo, but there are still safety restrictions on her probationary license. For the first 180 days of having her license, she can't drive between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. unless she's driving to or from work or a school or church-related function, or is with a parent. She also can't drive with passengers other than siblings unless accompanied by a licensed adult over the age of 25. After the initial 180 days, curfew will change to 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday and 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Saturday and Sunday mornings until she turns 18. Passengers will also be permitted after that first 180 days of holding her license. And don't forget, Amanda can't use her cell phone or any other telecommunication device while driving for any reason other than calling 911 until she is 18. These restrictions are meant to protect teen drivers from potentially dangerous situations and distractions on the road. Amanda knows it's important to stay alert and aware while she's driving because the law has specific provisions for probationary drivers. Repeated accidents or traffic violations caused by drivers with a probationary license carry fines and can even result in their license being suspended for up to 12 months. After she turns 18, the state safety restrictions will be lifted. Congratulations! At this point, Amanda is a fully licensed, unrestricted, ready-to-go driving machine. Of course, Jason makes sure to let her know that having an unrestricted license doesn't give her complete freedom of the road. Unsafe driving, cell phone use, alcohol consumption, and traffic regulations are just a few of the things young drivers need to stay responsible about as they embark on the trip from learner to pro. Hopefully this handy guide has helped you make sense of the ins and outs of graduated driver licensing. For more information and specific rules for your own state, check out impactteendrivers.org. Happy driving!